What up, y'all? Humble Among here, with a couple of weird Twiztid things that happened this weekend. So, on Saturday, it was Record Store Day, and Twiztid put out a single called I Tried to Warn You. And in that single, Jamie Madrox says this in the second verse.
Cause we've been on the mission with the carnival for years.
So, that's really interesting. The second thing that happened, though, is Astronomicon 5 was this past weekend, Twiztid's comic book convention that they do, and they did the Twiztid seminar as a way to sort of wrap it up at the end of the weekend, and they had a few things to say about the Insane Clown Posse in regards to their origins. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually play you... Oh, and by the way, shouts out to Bash from Bartle Boss and the Dead Guy. Go give them a subscription if you're not already subscribed to them. Bash is the one that clued me in on this and actually told me where I could find the video for the Twiztid seminar, which is Fago Lovers did a live stream. So shouts out to Fago Lovers as well for this video I'm about to play you. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and show you this first clip, and then I'm going to be back to break things down for you, because I have a bunch of thoughts about the stuff that was said in this video. So without further ado, let's roll the tape.
But it is 25 years of Twiztid, so we're going to take you through some of the Twiztid history, starting from the beginning, and we'll see how far we can make it to get up to the current present times.
But what we can remember.
Whoa, here we go. Let's see what you guys remember. So, speaking of which, let's go back to like the most tasteless era. So you guys, obviously, Psychopathic, now Magic Ninja, you're running your own thing, you have help. So, it's some of the stuff that took place during the most tasteless era. Did that teach you about like running a label? Could you talk about some of the stuff that you learned, like from the get-go that you started out with, that you can now apply to what you do currently?
Paul and I have always been the type of people who we're very observative. You might not think that we're paying attention to shit, but we're watching everything. We like are sponges. We soak up everything. So well, we consider a lot of it was on the job training. So while we were in a position to be able to come up and do what we were doing, we were also noticing how things worked. How did people get to that? Like him, he knows how to the touring system and booking and this and that because he paid attention to things. I was more about the graphics, but I rest assured what he had, and he's like, you got it. And we're like, Wonderfin powers activate, you know?
Yeah, that's what you get to like the
100%.
Right, absolutely, 100%.
Okay, so that was them basically admitting that they soaked up like a sponge, as Jamie Madrox put it, a lot of stuff from Psychopathic and the Insane Clown Posse. Now, they're going to go a little bit more into this. Some of these clips are a little bit long here, so bear with me. I'll be back, though.
Did you talk a little bit about like trying to find your identity as a group, or coming up with like the Twiztid? I don't want to call it like gimmick.
Yeah, no, it's
like,
fine. The image.
The image that you guys put forth. Like, what was the process like to find that?
When we first signed the Psychopathic Records, we were not going to paint our face. That's the last thing we wanted to do. We were like, we don't want to be another inception of you guys. We appreciate the opportunity. We're going to try to just do it like this.
Kind of blaze our own trail.
Yes, exactly. So there was no paint. It was like we were fucking sweaty and red on stage. Nobody wants to see that. So then we tried baby powder, like just a little bit of white. Not makeup, just a little white. And that turned into pasty. He looked like uncooked biscuits on stage. It was fucking crazy. And then,
so true.
And Jamie was like, let me try something. Motherfucker painted his face white and put black around his eyes. And that was it. The minute I saw it, I was like, oh, motherfucker. Now we're going to have to paint our goddamn faces because that's it. That's what we look like.
The reason, because of the fact, like you said, it was like the sweat with the trying to do away with your jumping. I'm still large now, but I was extremely large at that time. So I would get very sweaty and I had slap face a lot. So I was very self-conscious of that. I'm being real with you because I love you guys. So don't tell anybody I told you this. No, but I was like really self-conscious about that. So we were trying to get this vampiric look, and we were doing the powder thing, and the sweat, it would just make dough. And it was so horrible. And I just remember one day I asked Joey, I'm like, let me see one of those sticks. He's like, okay. And then he came back there, and next thing you know, it was on. So
then we started fucking with the hair. It was just like an entire thing.
Okay, right there you had basically their version of the origin of Twiztid, with some kind of parts glossed over, I would say, in my opinion. Basically there you hear them describe their reluctance to use Violent J's idea, to use Twiztid, to use the gimmick, to put on the paint. They talk about being red-faced and it not working. They talked about, well, let's try the powder. That's not paint, right? That's not paint. That's different enough. And that not working either, and them looking like biscuits. Then they talk about seeing Shaggy paint up and reluctantly deciding to, okay, let's just paint up like Jay kind of told us. That's my version, my take of what we just heard there. Now, once again, they wanted to be ISI. I've talked about this on many streams. They wanted to be International Superstars Incorporated. That was their name idea. Violent J came up with Twiztid. Violent J came up with the paint. At least that's the way I remember it. Anyway, let's play some more.
The thing that really did it for us though is we did the transition of the hoodies with contacts, and then the baby powder, then the paint. And what really did it for us is when we looked out into the crowd and we seen faces that looked like ours.
They were almost mimicking you.
It felt like we had found a niche or clicked with everyone that we were trying to get involved with, and they were like, we feel what you're doing and we're reflecting it, and we're like, holy shit, I've been evicted, erase me from the face. So we just started getting into it. We're like, holy shit, dude, they're like us, they get it, they fucking get it, they feel it in their blood.
It's awesome that you're using like crowd response, because they do the same thing in professional wrestling. Yeah. That's how the catchphrases and all that stuff take off. They see what the audience is bringing into the show. So that was perfect. It's brilliant of you guys.
Calling it over. Yeah. We'll keep in mind, we came up with people that were tailored from the wrestling industry. So we, at the same time, we're getting the on-the-job training for the music aspect via Alex and the showmanship via ICP.
All right, so there you get the host of this Twiztid seminar, who I think is some radio DJ, talking about the wrestling psychology that goes into this, which is very apt of that host to pick up on some of that, because that is where ICP gets a lot of their psychology and thinking for the way they approach the music business. And I want to give Jamie Madrox tremendous credit here for giving Alex and ICP credit for that's the way that they think, and for talking about using the word over in regards to being over in this music world. That's it's very cool of him to acknowledge it. Just want to give him mega props. A little bit more here, and then we're going to go to a different clip.
So we were kind of in a nice position to see everything down the middle and then make it our own. That's what we tell everybody. Be inspired by what we do and make it your own. If you're a rapper, an artist, a hairstylist, whatever the fuck it is you do, if you're inspired by us, use that inspiration to make your art come to life, because we do that with everything. I'm inspired by mad people. And if it wasn't for them, I don't think we'd have some of the sounds we have, some of the looks we have, some of the vibes. So we encourage everybody to do that shit too.
That's awesome. That's very cool.
All right, now that's really fucking dope. I think that sentiment is really fucking dope, and that's the kind of thing that we need. That's the kind of thing I've been saying that we need, is for them to just give credit. They already did the other thing I said that they should do, which is apologize for not marching at the gathering. A little bit of backsliding with that weird Instagram post, but this is the kind of shit that I want to see. Okay, but wait, there's more.
Can you talk a little bit about the process? So your first couple albums, can you talk a little bit about the process of editing songs and writing lyrics and cutting tracks and like preparing for like a national release?
Absolutely.
What was going on through your mind?
I have two things. You go and then I'll go. I have two things that are great.
It was crazy because the first record basically was hands off. We didn't know anything. So we watched the process.
I'm going to elaborate on that.
For the first 3 years, I don't even think they heard my voice. But I fucking listened and watched every fucking move they made. Every single one, bad or good. And I learned how to analyze it and use it to our advantage, regardless if it worked for ICP or not. And then it became a process of where we be in on their meetings and helping them plan for their records. Like that respect came back, you know what I mean? Where they see our vision for them as well. So they would take ideas from us and shit like that as well. It was awesome to have that respect, because in the beginning, ICP didn't fuck with nobody. Nobody. They didn't listen to nobody. Nobody could tell them anything. But somehow down the line, the friendship that we had, they trusted us. That if we're telling you, motherfucker, you crazy, don't do that. They won't do it. They'll be like, okay. A lot of other people just couldn't do that. And that is when I felt like, we got it, man. We can do this shit. Like, them dudes sold millions of records.
Speaking of backsliding, Monoxide gets a little weird and shitty here, in my opinion. Sort of offhandedly saying, regardless if it worked for ICP or not, they used it for their advantage. Almost insinuating that there was stuff that ICP did that didn't work for ICP, but they took it and they made it work or something. I don't know. That felt a little sort of shitty, I'll be honest with you. And then sort of wants to put himself over, put Twiztid over, and saying that, and they took ideas from us too, guys. They took ideas from us too. We gave them ideas too. So I don't know. That energy seems a little fucking weird, especially because Jamie just said, like, yo, like, you know, we definitely got some ideas from them. And it almost feels like defensive in a way. That Monoxide is being like, but they definitely took ideas from us too, guys. Anyway, little bit more. Jamie has some more stuff to say that I want to touch on here too.
I was gonna go a different route. I want to say like where I was gonna say is when we started, I'm gonna like this to cooking. A lot of y'all have grandmothers or yayas or whatever you have. They cook things from the mind. How much sugar in the palm?
Yeah.
We're Google, it's 2.5 cups of sugar. So when we started writing songs, we knew how to write a song. We just didn't write it to structure. Like there is 16 bars is 8 rhymes, 12 bars is 6 rhymes. So it's like we didn't know that. So that's why when you listen to, this is fresh, when you listen to Murder, 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 if you're a rapper and you're counting rhymes, it's like long as fuck. The verse ended like 2 things and he's still going, I'm still killing people and he's still, and you're like, Jesus Christ, learn how to write a song.
This is Jamie basically admitting that either Jay or Mikey Clark or someone inside of Psychopathic taught them how to count bars and how to structure a rap song properly. Maybe it was Fritz the Cat. One of those dudes around this time period, though, taught them straight up how to structure their songs. That's what this is. Anyway, this next part is basically just some fresh shit that Jamie says that I wanted to include in here. I don't really have anything to say about it, but I just wanted to include it. But I do have some more things to say about some clips that were later on. So stay tuned.
But I think that's what's fresh about the progression of the band, because you see us coming in and it's a want. We've always had the want to do it. We might not have known how to do it, but I think that's another thing I love that people take away from us is our ability, we don't give a fuck ability. We will do that shit. Juggalos can do anything. That's one of the things I feel we added to the Juggalo lore, is that you can do anything you want to do. Absolutely. We are proof in the fucking making that anyone can do what we do. And I love that. I want you all to fucking know that. I will never forget that. I don't care how old I get. You can see me in a motherfucking wheelchair. You a Juggalo, right? You can do whatever you want, baby. Yes, I understand you're the president. That's what's up, and that's what I'm waiting for. I mean, we've been telling that to little kids that I see that are now like 32. Come and say, well, you remember me, man? I was at the Mirror tour. I was only this big. You're like, dude, holy shit. I'm a CEO at this bit. Like, goddamn, that's what's up. You guys are out there infiltrating the world and coming up and becoming people of stature, and that was what it was all about. Show that individuality. We are out there.
Individuality.
So if you guys want to see this whole stream, I should mention, once again, it's the Fago Lovers Facebook page has a video, a live stream that they did that you can find. It's almost an hour long. I watched the whole hour. Shouts out to Fago Lovers for once again live streaming an event like this and making it possible for me to cover it straight up. Next we have a clip. They're talking about recording with different engineers, Mikey Clark and Fritz the Cat. They say Monoxide says something here that I find really interesting. So let's roll this clip.
Whether it be known to him or unbeknownst to him, it was just cool. A lot of things happened in Mike Clark's house.
Yep.
Like transpired through ideas and photo shoots and shit like that. So we have a lot of history with him. He's taught us a lot of shit as well, but I still Fritz, man. That's our dude, man. He's like, Mike was ICP's dude, Fritz was our dude. And I think we found that happy, like we were building our own team. I don't think we knew it. Maybe, did we know it? You might have known, he knew it. I didn't. I'm the naive one of the bunch. I'm like, we were keeping good people around.
Monoxide is the architect. He's building.
Yeah, he was.
No,
he was
absolutely. We
building
did
a
not
Voltron.
want to be high maintenance. We
Right.
appreciated the opportunity. We did not want to ride on their coattails and just be like, we're down with ICP, let's go. No, we wanted to
sure.
carve our own shit out of what they had started. So they had started this Juggalo thing, and we came in with the family thing. You know what I mean? Like, everything is, it's close, but there's a little nuance put onto it. The way that it's us, it's different.
Right on.
It's different.
Now, a couple of interesting things were just said there, but I want to focus on one of them in particular, and that's Monoxide saying that they brought the family element into this Juggalo world. Now, I might be misremembering my Juggalo history, but I'm pretty sure the family element was pretty well cemented by the point that Twiztid shows up. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm being really too nitpicky about all of this in general. Anyway, I have a few more clips that I want to show you from this seminar, and a couple more things I want to say. Anyway, roll the clip.
What's the most underappreciated project you guys put out? In your opinion,
Abomination.
Abomination.
Yep, I feel it got the shaft. No
Agree.
videos, fucked up the release,
I'll agree.
under-ordered.
It was a good
Fucking
record.
nightmare. That broke my fucking heart. It was like they put one of my kids to sleep, you know what I mean? That shit fucked me up. 'Cause that record was absolutely phenomenal. We bled on that fucking record. And it just got the fucking shaft. And that just killed me. That was a hard one to recover from.
So I've heard it said before, I've said it before, and Monoxide said it just now, sounding really hurt. Listen to the hurt in this man's voice over Abominations. I think Abominations is really the main reason, obviously, that they were done with Psychopathic. If you guys don't know, Psychopathic is the record label that fucked up that release. And listen to the hurt in his voice. He said he compared it to one of his children dying. I find that really interesting, really telling. And I think Monoxide is clearly the one holding this. He's the one that brings it up and immediately goes into it. This next clip, Jamie almost seemingly is trying to console his friend.
It was cool though, the vibe, the test of us to rise to the occasion and try to ever
You
raise
guys
the
don't
bar
know
to a
how
standard.
many things have happened to me and Jamie that most fucking people would just say, I'm fucking done. I'm done. The shit that we have been through that you guys have no fucking idea about would make most people just stop. We will never stop.
But if we tell you we don't die and we bow down, then we ain't meaning what we say. So we don't die, motherfuckers.
Right.
So we don't stop. We don't quit. We keep going. We encourage you. I don't give a fuck if you got cancer. I don't care what you got. You keep going till you ain't going, motherfucker. Represent for everybody. That's what we do.
That's right.
Right.
Or maybe it wasn't Abominations. Monoxide says several times there that we have no idea the stuff that they've been through. Is that psychopathic stuff that he's talking about? Purely speculation, of course, but he seems really hurt once again and continuing to talk almost in a hurt tone, and Jamie kind of talks his shit, the we don't die shit there, and cheers him up, I think. He sounds a little morose still. What the fuck happened? What the fuck happened? He seems to be hinting at something when he talks about you guys have no idea. And he says that many people would quit if in their position. What the fuck happened? Anyway, that's it. That's my thoughts on this Twiztid seminar thing. There was a lot of stuff in that seminar, by the way, that was interesting and juicy that I could have picked up on. But of course, I wanted to talk about the ICP of it all, the relationship, and really trying to focus on any way that we can maybe continue working on this and fixing this shit on the real. That's why I'm doing this. Anyway, one quick funny clip that I'm gonna keep in there to close us out. Whoop whoop, I love you. Good night and goodbye. Wait, it's not even night. Whoop whoop, I love you. Goodbye.
Now, if you could go back and change one thing about any of the albums in any way, like, what would it be? What would you change about it?
Nothing.